Alright, you guys asked for it. Actually, I know, I just said I was going to do it. Here it is, the official Microraptor Games Dragon Age the Veilguard companion and character ranking. This does include... No, shut up. I lost my place. This also includes people like Manfred, Varric, and Asan, which I'm glad because I think I wanna put those on the list too. So we're gonna be going through it, and this is mostly gonna be up to my own personal rankings, not only of how much I like the character, but how well I think the character was written and where their story went. So there might be some characters that I enjoyed, but I felt like their characters didn't go anywhere and didn't have much to say. It's all going to be factored in there. Starting off strong was Nev. Now, I romanced Nev. I don't know where to put her, because I think that... Here's the thing. I liked her personality. Do her last? No, I'm going to do her first, because she's first. I liked her personality, but I didn't really like how they handled any of the romance scenes. Now, I don't know if any of the other character romance scenes were better. Nev was a little disappointing. Like, the flirting in the game is just trash. But she wasn't unlikable. She never really did anything that made me hate her. She just was not anything crazy. So, you know what, because of that, A tier. Next up is Balara. I actually didn't hate her as time went on as much as I did initially. She's PB, right? She's just the quirky, annoying, oops, did I drop that thing in the ground? Oopsie daisy. And I just don't like it. It just doesn't feel like it fits into the world of Dragon Age. She could never take anything seriously until her brother died because she failed to heal him after he was yeeted against a wall. And she never really got better. She just got not as annoying as she started. D tier. D tier. Lucanus. I like Lucanus. I liked his voice acting. He was cool. His design was really nice. He took things seriously when they needed to, but knew how to, you know, he kind of felt like a Garrus kind of character where he could take things seriously if he needed to, but he also had some fun lines that were there to lighten the mood. The problem is that they never really took advantage of Spite, the demon that was inside of him. Nothing ever really happened. Like, he's just there and you barely interact with him, and he's apparently, I have to stay awake or else he'll take control, but then he only does that once. And you're like, hey bro, maybe you should sleep more. And Lucanus is like, yeah, okay, I will. And then you never talk to Spite again. Like, I don't get what they were trying to do with him. It just felt like it was somebody who wanted this hot Spaniard with a demon inside of him, but then that was like all they wrote. It's like they had a Twitter post to write character backstories. Fuck, that's actually really good. They had one, yes, every character in Dragon Age Veilguard feels like it was just one Twitter post length of backstory. And that was it for Lucanus. But I didn't hate him. I just don't feel like nothing really happened with his character. And therefore, I think he is high B tier for me. Harding. Scout Harding from Dragon Age Inquisition. I like her personality. You know, I think that she fit in well in Inquisition. I think she was a lot smarter in Inquisition than she was in Veilguard. I didn't hate her. I just didn't like where her story went because it didn't feel like it ever mattered. Like, she was a daughter of Titans. She had this ability, but again, that's it. and you have to choose between, what was her final mission choice? It was between like, you have to tell her that her power comes from love or from anger or something. It was like this. It was really stupid. I don't know. It was like, she's just a C character. Like, if you like her, you can bring her. You're not gonna hate her. If you don't like her, you don't have to bring her. You're not gonna hate her, right? Just a full mid character. Davrin. Okay. Davrin, I want to like, and I do like him. I like the Grey Wardens. I think he's an interesting character. The problem is his story. That's really it. His story is fixed with Talk no Jutsu on a banshee creature, the Gloom Howler, that's what it was called, that she used to be a Grey Warden, an elf, who went a bit crazy after her own griffin got blighted. So her reasoning was, I'm going to blight the griffins because I'm angry. And then you're like, hey, but didn't your griffin die to blight? And she's like, oh yeah. And you're like, so why are you doing it to these ones? And she's like, oh, I guess I shouldn't be. I'm gonna go now. And so his entire thing of saving the griffins basically has no build up, because you just you're still doing quests and you're like, oh, maybe we'll go get the griffins back, and we'll get the griffins back. Then you finally have the quest to get the griffins back, and it's a really stupid quest. If that quest was better, he would be an A tier, but because his quest is shit, and I think worse than Lucanus's, he goes below Lucanus in B tier. And he's only up there because I like his character, because he wasn't annoying. Asan, the Griffin. He doesn't really have any pivotal moment. No, wait, he does, doesn't he? Wait, hold on. He died in my game, right? Because the game has really stupid choices. We'll talk about, I'm gonna put up a review video. I will talk about the ending there. Yeah, Asan does save the day a couple times. He's pretty good. But I'm not a furry, so he goes below Nev. He's good though. He doesn't do anything wrong. He's not dislikable. You can boop his snoot, you can hug him, he's good. In fact, you can do more romantic options with Asan than you can with any of the characters. Emmerich, the affable gentleman character who is afraid of death. I didn't hate his story. The problem is that it had very little impact on me, because the other lich, the half-lich woman, who I think they used to be students together, she just doesn't matter. Like, she means nothing to my emotions. So his storyline to me is interesting only because of his ties to Manfred. I will say though, I think that his story ends up a little bit better than most characters. High B tier. Low A, high B. I don't know exactly where to put him here. Manfred. I mean, is there anything else to say? Manfred never did anything wrong. He was cute, he was funny, he was the thing that made me laugh the most in this game in a positive way. Was Manfred. Manfred the good boy. Tosh. Oh boy, how do we even get into talking about Tosh? It's F tier. And let me explain why I think Tosh is an F tier. Bellara could be annoying, but Bellara at least felt like she fit into the world somewhat and was redeeming herself near the end a little bit. I didn't hate her as much in the latter like 25% of the game. Tosh is just annoying and in a like angering way. Bellara was just like, okay, you know, stop making a joke. It just doesn't fit. It doesn't really fit with the mood. Tosh is just an annoying child. That's it. That's the entirety of the personality for Tosh. Complaining at everything, rude to people, annoying. That's it. And you know what? If you want to ask my opinion, I do think that the forcefulness of the non-binary aspect of Tasha's character actually did worse things for non-binary people than many other examples of non-binary characters I've seen. Now people who were on the fence about accepting, right, or of tolerating, or who just weren't a big fan of it in the first place, are now going to think that this was the golden opportunity to write a normal person who was non-binary, and instead what they wrote was one of the most annoying people and they tied the thread so tight around the non-binary identity that this character just feels like it was inserted for identity reasons. It just isn't good. It was very poorly written, it was poorly handled, annoying character, didn't like any of it. Tosh was supposed to be a dragon slayer. At no point did Tosh ever slay a dragon. Very annoying. Okay, last one, Varric. Spoilers, by the way. This whole video is spoilers. Just a D tier. He was dead the whole time, and somehow my character was seeing Varric in my brain. It was almost like, imagine they did this to like Last of Us 2, right? Last of Us 2 was controversial for how it killed Joel, but imagine that they didn't, that scene was there, but then Joel got better, and you played as Ellie and you were talking with him, but nobody else was there, and at the end of the game, you realize that he was dead the whole time. It's like some Redditor's twist of a fan fiction. Oh, you know, Varric was dead the whole time. You were just talking to a ghost, and nobody wanted to say anything because they were sad about you or whatever. It's dumb. It's just dumb. Had it been more realistic, your character would have actually been talking with Varric, with somebody else around there. And then somebody would be like, dude, who are you talking to? Nobody's there. But because the writers didn't want you to figure that out, they never inserted a scenario where that was the case. It was really forced. It was really stupid, and it didn't make me feel anything positive for Varric's death, where had they just did that and added some like storyline to provide closure for Varric's death, I would have accepted it a lot more. But they didn't do any of that, and Solus didn't say anything about it. It was really stupid. It was really stupidly handled. This is my tier list. I only put Nev so high because I banged her, but her storyline just kind of like meh too, right? But her storyline at least fit. It fit with the region, it fit with her character. The issue is that none of these characters are memorable. Literally every single Mass Effect character, apart from maybe Jacob, is higher than every single one of these characters. It's like this is one tier list and we need to make another tier list then for other BioWare characters that they've made. It was really unfortunate. But that's my ending of the tier list. So I don't know what you guys think, if you guys agree or disagree. Didn't like Tosh, didn't like Balara. I think Varric was fucked over, not by his own choices, of course, because he's a fake character, so he can't make them. But the writers screwed him over. Manfred and Hassan were the most enjoyable because they were at least cute and made me smile sometimes. Emmerich, Lucanus, Davrin, acceptable. I liked them. I'm not going to remember them, but I didn't hate them. I hated mainly where their stories ended up, but not their dialogue. So that's how it is. So, you know, share with me what your thoughts are. These were mine, and look out for the Dragon Age Veilguard review, which should be probably longer than this, and it will be appearing at roughly the same time. Alright guys, thank you for watching that, YouTube. Cheers.